perfect.
Long time no see.
I know. Where did my slides just go? Too loud or okay?
It keeps me awake, the look on your face, the moment you heard the news. You're screaming inside, you're frozen inside, you did all that you could do. The game was made, the ref got tricked, the wrong instinct felt right. You were outnumbered this time. But only the young, only the young, only the young, only the young can run, can run. So run and run and run. So every day now you brace for the sound you've only heard on TV. You go to class scared, wondering where the best hiding spot would be. And the big bad man and his big bad clan, their hands are stained with red. Oh, how quickly they forget. They aren't gonna help us, too busy helping themselves. They aren't gonna change this, we gotta do it ourselves. They think that it's over, but it's just begun.
Sorry.
Only one thing can save us. Only the young, 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 can run, can run, so run and run and run, so run and run and run and run.
Hello, Matthew. How you doing?
Good. Hey, Dan. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for making this meeting happen on your side. We're just gonna play some music as the students join.
What's that?
We'll just play some music as the students join, just to
Okay. That's
reduce
cool.
awkwardness.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey,
It's nice to put a face with the name.
it is nice.
Jamie, I just emailed you back too. I'm going to work on dates and I'll get back with you about that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
While we wait, you can turn the music up a little, Jamie.
can't sleep until I feel your touch.
Hello, hello. Hope you all are doing well this evening. Is it evening where you all are? After the school day is over. My name is Dan Adams. I'm the Director of Training for Sources of Strength. And I also have Jamie Shin with us. She's our Training Operations Coordinator. We're both in Denver, Colorado. We're happy to be with you all. Matthew, I don't know if you want to give us some kind of context to start out or frame our time together, and then I can take over whenever.
Yeah, that'd be great. Dan and Jamie, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. So we have, just to kind of bring Dan and Jamie up to speed. So we've created our team. We have our adult advisors on board, and we've invited our peer leaders. And most of them have sent back their permission forms. We're still gathering those, but we've made contact, and I've done my best to try to explain the program. And unfortunately, because of everything that's going on with our school year schedule getting changed, we had to move back, had to cancel our initial training dates. And so we're working on, of course, finding new dates. And I wanted in the meantime to keep some of that momentum going. And that's why I scheduled this meeting, because I was hoping that Dan could kind of explain the program, because people have heard from me, and I know I'm sure I've not done it justice. And I want students just to get an overview of what we're looking at. And the hope is that we can get our training in the next several weeks to get it going. And then, and goodness, even if we don't know what the school year is going to look like. So even if things change or pivot, we still want to move forward. So I have every intention of doing this, even if it ends up taking a virtual format, because this is really important. So that's kind of what I was hoping. And I don't know how long you're planning on, but I'll take whatever you can give me.
Yeah. Well, lovely to be with you all. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules, I'm sure, at being at home to be together. And hopefully we can answer all your questions, get you excited about implementing, iron out any details. But maybe it'd be lovely, since we got about 16 people in the room. If we do a quick go around, and I could just call on folks, if you can at least unmute yourself and maybe introduce yourself, say your name, your grade, and then maybe tell us what's a person or a practice that's been helping you get through this time of COVID, just to get us started. So name, your grade, or what you teach, or who you are, as if you're an adult, and then who's a person or a practice that's been helping you during COVID. So I'll start, and then I'll help create the order if you want to unmute yourself. If you don't want to talk, you can just go like this, and we'll jump to the next person. That's also all right. So I'm Dan Adams, Director of Training for Source of Strength. And I have always been a little bit of a woodworker, but during this time of COVID, I've really been building lots of stuff with my hands, lots of cutting boards and wooden objects for friends to practice generosity and support others going through this time. So let me just create an order here. We got Cooper Davis. How about for you? If you want to unmute yourself, tell us your name, your grade, what's been helping you?
I'm Cooper. I'm in ninth grade, actually, and I've been pretty reliant on my family during COVID, so.
Nice. Family's been there for you. Thank you for sharing. And Micah?
Hi, I'm Micah. I'm also a freshman, and both my parents have been really helpful and motivational during all this.
Lovely snaps for the good parents being there to support you. Yeah. Hannah H., how about for you?
My name's Hannah Hinshaw, as you know. I'm in grade 10, and probably my family or my cat has helped me the most during quarantine.
Lovely. Isn't the cat part of the family?
Yes.
Yes.
So my family's helped me the most.
Lovely. And Rusty or Mr. Connor?
Yes, I am Mr. Connor. I coach at Shenandoah, and I'm also the park superintendent. And my family, my wife has been getting me through COVID pretty good.
Lovely. Yeah, lots of family support happening. Emma, how about for you?
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a junior. Probably my family has been helping me through COVID. More family time together.
Lovely. Yeah, some people are like, oh, loving all the family time. Some are like, no, thank you. I've had enough. Ready for some more friends time. Megan, how about for you?
Hi, I'm Megan Anderson, and I'm a senior this year, and I've been reading a lot during quarantine.
Diving into some good books. Give us some book recommendations by the end of our time together if you've got any. Morgan, how about for you? Morgan Nation, what a name.
Well, I'm Morgan. I'm a senior this year, and my family has definitely gotten me through COVID.
Lovely family support. Lucas, that's my brother's name. How about for you, Ben?
Why not?
Yes, I'm a junior, and my football coach has helped me get through COVID.
Lovely. And is it Raven? Raven William?
Yes, I'm Raven Willman, and I'm a freshman. My family's definitely helped me through COVID, or even like texting my friends as well.
Lovely. Yeah, still staying in touch with friends. And then I don't know if it's your last name or first name, Wilcox.
Yeah, my name's Chloe. I'm a freshman, and I'd say my family and friends helped me through COVID.
Lovely. All right, Caden, how about for you?
Hi, I'm Caden. I'm a freshman. I would say my family and friends have helped me through COVID. They've been a huge distraction from it.
Yeah, it helps take our mind off of staying at home all the time. Yeah.
Right.
Jasper, how about for you?
I'm Jasper. I'm a junior, and I would say my family helped me through COVID.
Lovely, lovely. And if you don't have a name, my next person up, I don't know who it is because you don't have a name on your Zoom. I don't know if you know how to rename yourself. If you're on your phone, Jamie, do you know how you rename yourself on your phone?
You should still have, if you push on your screen, you should have 3 little buttons that you can click to rename.
And then you can click drop down to rename and give us
On
your
my
name.
side, though, it looks like it's Amanda's iPhone.
Amanda's iPhone. Oh, we got Amanda's, and then there's another one that's unnamed, but I'll skip over and call on someone. Matthew, Buster. How about for you? Oh, you were unmuted. There you go. There you go.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, hi, I'm Matthew, and I'd say my family, friends, and my artists helped me get through COVID a lot.
Ooh, you're an artist. Lovely. Thank you for sharing. And Andrew?
I'm Andrew. I'm a senior, and I would probably say basketball and family has helped me get through all of this COVID.
Lovely. Yeah. Basketball. Is the season still going to happen? Are they having sports for school?
Hopefully. We're in football right now, and everything's going well, but I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, lovely. All right. Thanks for sharing. And Doug? How about for you? Did you miss what we were doing? Your name, kind of what you teach or your role at the school, and then something that's been helping you, person or practice that's been helping you through this time?
Is this for me?
Yeah, Doug, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sorry, I joined in late. My son,
Yeah.
I just picked my son up from football and then had Wi-Fi issues. I'm a volunteer. I don't work at the school. I work at Butler University. Most of the students will know me because I lost a son to suicide. How I've gotten through COVID, determination, I guess. That's about all we've got right now, other than the people around us. And that's pretty much it for me.
Resilience and grit and connection. Thank you. Yeah, lovely. And I think we have then one more student. If you haven't introduced yourself, if you want to unmute yourself, I don't see a name on your square. Do you know who that is, Matthew? one student on their phone. If you want to, at any point, unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Yeah, with the hat.
I'm Keaton Lawyer. I'm a junior, and fishing has got me through COVID.
Fishing. Lovely. And then Matthew, how about for you?
Matt, I'm the counselor at Shenandoah, and my family, our dogs, reading, and then cooking new food. We watched a ton of cooking shows, so that's got me through.
Yeah, we've been hearing cooking's a big deal for folks to tap into right now. Jamie, how about for you?
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Jamie. I am the Training Operations Coordinator for Sources of Strength, and I'm pretty excited about this right now, so I'm going to show it off a little bit, but I just got engaged. So I would say my now fiance, TJ, has been helping get me through COVID.
Boom. Big ring. Engaged. That's a good way to spike the emotions.
It is.
Well, thank you all for introducing yourself. I always love to get to know the crowd a little bit, and hopefully as you listen into other students and staff introduce themselves, it sounds like we got a fairly diverse group of lots of different age levels, different lived experience, different strengths that are helping you get through this time. We know we're in completely unprecedented times, right? We have a pandemic happening. We have a modern civil rights movement happening where we're reckoning with our country, and people are feeling all kinds of stuff right now. We've been hearing stories from students, from staff, that we're all doing our best to cope with everything that's going on. And Sources Strength is a program that's just passionate about the fact that you all have strengths already that you're tapping into, that you're using to help navigate stress, to prevent from being overwhelmed, to connect and to create belonging amongst your friendship group and your peers. And this program is about using that voice. You all have been picked to be in this room. It's not an accident. Matthew and other adults at the school carefully selected you as students that they thought would be influencers to help spread positive messages of hope, help, and strength across your school. And we want to unpack a little bit of what that's going to look like, answer any questions that you have, because we need this work more than ever before right now, right? I'm sure you all are no stranger to the fact that people are really struggling and they need some hope, and they need to know where to get help and how to tap into help. And they need to know that they already have strengths in their life to practice resilience and overcoming adversity. And Jamie has this slide up: hope, help, strength, not sad, shock, trauma. This is really the foundational principle of what we do. We do prevention through a positive, strength-based lens. A lot of prevention, whether it's suicide prevention or bullying prevention or substance prevention, often takes like a sad, shock, trauma approach, right? They tell you sad stories or shocking statistics or traumatic, ways of communicating what we're trying to prevent. And while that might have an impact on a portion of the population, it can sometimes do harm, right? That people are already feeling kind of overwhelmed or sad, or in an age of sickness like right now, we hear a lot about risk or about death. And while that is a reality, people really need a sense that there is hope, that they can get help, and that they have strengths to rely on, not just formal strengths like a doctor or a counselor. Those are important, but also strengths that they have personally in their life, right? So we talk a lot about the strengths that we use, and we do that through you all, students who care about their peers, who want to use their voice to change the culture and climate of your school for the better, because we know you all are much better at it than we are as adults, and particularly than me as an outsider. Like, I don't know your community, and someone's not going to listen to me as much as they are Hannah H. or Matthew or Micah, sharing your story of strength and using your voice to impact your peers and to encourage them and to tell them that we're going to get through this together. And so hope, help, strength is really a core of what we do. Jamie's going to pull up that next slide, Jamie, to say we know that you are wrestling with all kinds of different stuff. And so this program can also be used whether in person, traditionally, or virtually, We've developed a whole bunch of resources to help you implement programming and messaging across the board. So whether it's on your computer screens in our little squares, our Brady Bunch squares right now, or whether it's in person on your campus, we believe that folks can really spread hope, help, and strength in all of those settings in a powerful way that helps people hold on to something. And the Sources of Strength wheel is really at the core of all of that. So you may or may not have seen this before, but these are the things that throughout the years we've heard from students and from adults are the things that really give them hope. So talking about family support and positive friendships, maybe your immediate family or maybe your chosen family, those people you put together as a collection of family members that support you if your family hasn't been there for you. The friends, not just any friend. We all know, raise your hand if you had a negative friend before. If you've ever had a negative friend, raise your hand, right? Probably most of us. We're not going to talk about those people, right? But they highlight what it's like to have a positive friend, those characteristics of people who care about us and support us and they've got our back. Talking about mentors. Who are the adults in our life that have given us strength and shared wisdom? Is it a coach or a teacher or a parent or a youth leader? And then all of the healthy activities, many of the which you just named, like basketball or cooking, or for me, it's getting out in nature or fishing, all those healthy activities that get us strength. And then generosity. What are the ways that we are being generous towards others, that we've experienced generosity that helps lift our spirits and help us get through tough stuff? And then all kinds of spirituality, whether it's a place that's spiritual for you, like being outdoors, or your church, or your mosque, or your synagogue, whether it's a practice like yoga or meditation or cooking, or whether it's people that are a spiritual experience that connect you to something bigger than yourself. We also know that gratitude is a big part of spirituality, so practicing the things that you're grateful for. And then those last two, physical health and mental health. We know if we take care of our bodies, it helps how we feel about the world. And if we take care of our minds and practice good mental health, it helps us feel better in our bodies, right? Those are two interconnected pieces. So that's just a quick snapshot of the wheel, and that's at the core of everything we're doing in this program. I'll explain a little bit more how that gets used by you all, but after talking for a little bit, I want to also introduce another core element of what we do, which is having fun and playing games. So we're going to play a quick game to give you a snapshot of what a taste of the training will look like. And let me intro it. Let's play a game of rock, paper, scissors. So if I can't see you, it might be hard to play this game. So make sure your video is kind of facing right towards you. And here's how you play it. Everyone's played rock, paper, scissors before, right? So you got rock beats paper, paper beats rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, all right? But this time we're gonna play with our whole bodies. So if I say scissors, everybody go like this, arms up like this for scissors. All right, if I say paper, arms out like this for paper, straight out. And we gotta see those arms. And then if I say rock, you give yourself a big bear hug like this, and that's rock like this, all right? So if you need to find some space or stand up if you're able, or scoot back from your computer to play, here's how it's gonna work. Instead of playing against each other, like in normal rock, paper, scissors, we want you to play against me. So if I throw rock and you threw scissors, you would be out. And here's what you do when you get out. You just turn your video off to indicate that you're out of the game, and we'll see who whittles it down to be the last couple of people in, all right? So if my action beats yours, you would be out, and I'll explain how that works, okay? One practice round. Ready? I'll go 1, 2, 3, throw, and you throw rock, paper, or scissors, all right? So 1, 2, 3, throw, paper. All right, so if you were a rock, you would be out right now, but that was just a practice round, so you get to stick back in. So hold on, now we're playing for real. Okay, here we go. And I'll tell those who are out, you would turn your video off when you're out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, throw. All right, I threw scissors. So if you were paper, you are out this round. Turn your video off. We'll whittle it down. All right, everybody's still in. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, throw. I got paper here. So if you were a rock, oh no, you are out. Wrapped you up. Rocks are out. All right, whittling it down. Okay, here we go. Last couple. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, throw. I got scissors. So if you were paper, you're out. All my rocks are still in. All right, one more round. And rock, paper, scissors, go. Paper here. So if you're a rock, you are out. And let's give a round of applause for our winners. Who we got? We got Cooper, we got Rusty, we got Megan, and Lucas. Big round of applause. Everybody give a digital applause if you know how to do that, or an in-person applause. And then turn your videos back on. Thank you all for playing that round of rock, paper, scissors with me. We've developed a whole bunch of virtual games, some that relate to real life games like you've played before, and others to make the training fun, as well as to use in your messaging with other students, because we know if we're going to be spending a lot of time on Zoom, we're going to need some capacity to play games. So let me run us through a couple other pieces of the way we think about source of strength, and feel free, if you have a question as we're going, to either unmute yourself and jump right in and ask, or if you want to chat in the chat box to ask a question, you can do that as well. So if you have a question, pop it in the chat box, and we'll also get to that. Jamie will bring it to my attention. So Jamie, let me share some slides from my side just to make it a little bit easier to move through these. Oh, or just share the upstream parable slides. So in prevention, there's a really common story that kind of unpacks a little bit of what we do with sources of strength. And it's a story of a village that's situated by a river. And near that village, the river goes over a waterfall. So Jamie's going to share this image, and you can imagine what this looks like. So there's a river that runs through a valley next to this village and over a waterfall. And every day there's a woman who takes a walk along this river's edge. And one day as she is walking past, she hears a shout from the middle of the river that there's a person caught up in the stream of the river about to go over the waterfall. So she jumps into action and swims out into the river and grabs this young person and brings him back to shore, right? And saves a life. And it's a heroic event. Everybody celebrates. But day after day, they realize there's more and more people caught up in that river about to go over the waterfall. So they kick into action, and they raise money, and they build watchtowers, and they train lifeguards, because what they want to do is keep people safe. And clearly this waterfall is not a safe space, right? So they're intervening to save lives, but the more and more they do this, they realize the more and more people are coming down the river. And they're able to save some lives, but they're not able to save everybody. Some come at night and they can't see them, or they're under the surface of the water and they can't be identified. So burdened by this reality, this original woman starts to walk upstream, and everybody says, "Hey, where are you going? We need you, all hands on deck." And she says, "I'm going to go upstream to see if I can't prevent some people from falling in the river in the first place." Or to ask the question, why are so many people falling in the river? Who's pushing them in? Or maybe we need to put up some signs that say, "Hey, watch out, don't get so close to the river's edge." Or maybe we can train people with the skills and the techniques to be able to climb out of the water themselves when they realize they're in the river, before they reach the rapids, before they reach that waterfall moment. And that's what we mean by upstream prevention. And that's really what Source of Strength does. Our primary mission is to make sure people are really healthy and well and have connections and can ask for help and can practice strengths on a regular basis so they don't end up in crisis moments in the first place. If we can catch students when they're just having a bad Tuesday, as opposed to when they're feeling suicidal, we can help give them skills to be able to get out of the river before they hit that waterfall moment. And so that's what we do primarily, is we have students and adults who are practicing health and well-being every day, not just on Suicide Prevention Day or Suicide Prevention Month. That prevention is an everyday thing, practicing wellness and connecting and supporting each other and normalizing big emotions, but also talking about how we cope with them. And if we do that well, less people end up at that waterfall moment. But it doesn't mean it's never going to happen. And sometimes people are still going to be in crisis, even though we're practicing those things on a regular basis. So at a secondary level, you all as peer leaders can really do a lot to intervene when people are in crisis, whether that's they're feeling suicidal, or maybe they're wrestling with drugs and alcohol, or maybe they're being bullied or harassed. We know that you all as friends can make an impact by intervening and connecting them to help. So we see peer leaders as connectors to help when you're worried about a friend who's struggling, to be willing to be brave enough and daring to ask an adult for help, whether it's Matthew or Rusty or your football coach or Doug out in the community. These are adults who care and want to hear how can they help. And so connecting to help is a big part of what peer leaders do, but then trying to change how we talk about crisis in the first place, right? That it shouldn't be a sign of weakness to ask for help. It's a sign of courage and bravery. And even though a friend might be upset that you got them to help, the stories we hear over and over and over again is that a couple weeks out from that crisis, they're thankful that a friend loved them enough to break the silence and connect them to help. So we find that if students are involved in this process, and not just us as adults, that you all know much sooner when a friend is struggling and can connect them to help. And then below that waterfall, after a loss or a death or a crisis, that's what in the field we call postvention. But really, it's just about how we talk about loss and grieve and how we respond. That in those moments, we need students sharing their voice to say, hey, we can get through this together. We have strength, and we're going to tap into them, and we're going to support each other, that there's hope that life can get better. Right now, we're going through a collective moment of grief and loss, whether that's you just can't do the things you used to be able to, or maybe you lost a family member or a friend during this time. We're going to need to be practicing supports and belonging and connection with each other. So that's kind of the vision in terms of classic prevention that we're talking about, of students practicing wellness, connecting to adults, talking about emotions and how we cope with them on a regular basis, helping connect friends to supports when they're in crisis, and also starting a conversation about how we bounce back after loss and grief, so that wherever we are in that river story, we're practicing strength and reaching out and connecting with each other. We do that, Jamie, if you want to click the slide, through this basic idea of teaming up adults. So we got the adults that are in the room, and maybe there's others in the school as well that are participating, who are caring, connected, and positive, and they're diverse, teamed up with a diverse group of peer leaders like yourselves who have influence within your social group, that you practice strength, and then you go out and share that through lots of different messaging campaigns with your school and community that are engaging, they're interactive, they invite people to apply strength to their life, that over time we achieve positive culture and climate change, that we're changing the way our school responds when students are in crisis. I bet you all could probably tell me way more than I know already that right now people are struggling with mental health, with anxiety, with feeling overwhelmed or cut off from their friends. It's a really challenging time we're in right now. And we need you to be using your voice to be able to talk about that, to start a conversation in your school of how are we coping with everything that's going on, and being willing to break the silence when needed to really connect to help. So that's the basic model. And I've been talking for far too long. So let me hit pause for just a moment, having given you a kind of snapshot of the wheel of what upstream prevention is, and of the idea of adults and students teamed up to share messages across the school to really change the culture of your school, so that we're in a healthier situation where people can really ask for help and tap into strength when they need it. Let me hit pause and invite any questions that either students or adults have that you want me to clarify, or something that sparks for you, a thought that you'd have. So you can either post it in the chat, or you can raise a hand, unmute yourself, and feel free to ask a question or make a comment or something you're thinking right now.
I have a question.
What? Sorry, we got Hannah, and then was it Doug?
Yeah.
Hannah and then Doug. Let's go in that order. Great.
Isn't this generally a section of like humanities? And if it is, how did you get involved?
Yeah, great question. So are you saying is like with the approach we're taking a part of the discipline of humanities? And
Yeah.
then how did I personally get involved?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that it can draw on like the humanities it engages like social studies and literature, and being human is about all of these things, right? So a lot of the departments in humanities deal with this kind of experience of being human. The approach would fall more in like social work if you were to study kind of what we do. And then prior to working for Sources of Strength, I lived in South Africa for 7 years, and I was working at a correctional facility, like a prison, and I worked particularly with awaiting trial juveniles. So twice a week, I ran a program in a prison cell with young guys in South Africa who had either, been wrongfully accused or who had committed a crime and were spending some time in jail. So I helped them think about their life choices and their lives and how to practice strength in prison, but also how to renegotiate their lives when they got out. And so I'd also journey with them outside. So that's what I was doing before. 6.5 years ago, I moved back to the States with my wife, who's from Zimbabwe, and started doing this work. And I'm really passionate about this program, but also the power of Ural Oasis to really make an impact in your school. But thanks for asking that, Hannah. Hopefully that got at what you were saying. Yeah. Doug, how about for you?
That's really cool.
My question is kind of more procedural, or how things work. My, I guess, inclination coming into this meeting was we would have regular meetings, and the student leaders would maybe engage their classmates, be on the lookout for problems, and then bring those back to the meetings, and we, I guess, brainstorm or try to come up with ways to help people. And is that pretty much how this works, or is there much more to it?
It's a little bit of that and a little bit more. So yeah, we'll have a training. So we'll have a 3.5-hour training for all the adults with like a deeper dive into what this is and how to manage a peer leader team and what some of the ideas are. And then we're going to do a 2-hour and 15-minute peer leader training. So for all the students and adults together, where we get some time to practice strength. We'll go into breakout rooms, and everyone will share what does strength look like for you. We'll give you a vision of how to roll out campaigns and to practice this in your school. And then, yeah, you all will meet on a regular basis going forward. So we recommend twice a month for about an hour. And I don't know, Matthew, if you already have a time selected for when they will meet. I don't know if you want to share that.
Yeah. Again, I feel like everything I say in the last 3 months has an asterisk by it. So
Yeah.
if things stay the way they are this moment, when kids come back September 8th, we've broken our school day into 2 lunches, an A and B lunch. And I've obtained permission that all the kids involved, so twice a month, we'll have a meeting, and we'll be able to span both lunch periods. So they'll give us 80 minutes uninterrupted where we can meet. And then for those students, they'll just miss their 6-period class. So we'll meet twice a month, a lunch meeting, and this is when a lot of this stuff will happen.
Yeah. So then you all will meet together on a regular basis. And we have a whole host. Jamie, if you want to pull up the campaign slide, we have a whole host of what we call templated campaigns. So it's like a theme, and that your team, we've done some work already, so you're not reinventing the wheel. You take that off the shelf and you put it into action. So all of the ones that are here have like a traditional templated campaigns, so resources for each of these. And then 2 of them, we've actually added more this year, knowing that the beginning of school this year might be a bit of a heavy lift for students. Like, you're realizing you have a full curriculum and you're navigating virtual school or whatever that looks like. You might be a little overwhelmed, or teachers who are learning new skills, who are also feeling like you're doing a lot. We built out 2 campaigns to do most of the work for you. Like, all the meetings are planned and a lot of the ideas are there just to get going. And then you also have access to all these other campaigns. So essentially you pull them off the shelf, like a trusted adult campaign. That the basic concept is, we know that students that have a trusted adult experience a protective factor. So just having one accepting adult in your life greatly reduces the risk of suicidality, particularly for LGBTQ youth. Having one adult who cares for you, who's accepting, it reduces suicide risk by 40% to have one accepting adult, particularly for LGBTQ plus youth. And then for everybody, the more adults we have in a school and the more equitably distributed, meaning a vast majority of students feel like they have an adult, in our research on the program, we've seen suicide risk go down significantly. Where someone may feel suicidal, but having a trusted adult prevents them from actually attempting suicide. So it saves lives. So that trusted adult campaign would be, all right, how do we name those people in our school? How do we educate folks what they look like? Like, what is a characteristic of a trusted adult? And then how do we celebrate them in a fun, engaging way? So maybe we build a wall display of all the names of trusted adults in our school, or we do a door decoration activity, or if we're doing it virtually, maybe we came up with an idea to flock their lawn, to buy like yard flamingos. And then you just go stick like 100 flamingos in their yard with a sign that says, this person is a trusted adult. This was like a funny way of engaging them in the community. So there's some virtual kind of in-person ways, or also some in your school ways. So here are some pictures from like a traditional implementation, whether it's like the stained glass window there of names of trusted adults, or what's your mascot at Shenandoah?
We are the Raider. It's interesting. This individuals who settled kind of this area where our school's at actually are from the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. And so technically our mascot is actually both a Confederate and a Union soldier. But we call it's a little interesting. Yeah.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Raider.
Yeah.
So sometimes people use their mascot to create a wall display. Like you can see that Viking ship there, that they did all the names were like the sun and the ship sail and the boat. Jamie, you can keep going. Or maybe you do like door decorations where you go and decorate trusted adults door to highlight, hey, this teacher is really there for kids. Here's what they do for us. Or the next slide, maybe, some teams have actually written up, what is that? What is it, Micah and Caden and Lucas and Drake? What are the kinds of characteristics of adults that you really trust? What did they do to earn your trust? So this was a school in Wisconsin that wrote that down, and then they had peer leaders go around to every teacher and say, hey, if you're going to be a trusted adult in this school, you need to commit to these things. And if you commit, you can sign this and we'll hang this promise, this pledge up on your door or in your school, but you need to actually live up to these so that students can trust you. So things like acknowledging that reaching out for support is a strength, to not downplay that when people ask for help, or listening and not reacting, with judgment, or responding in a calm and reassuring manner when students come and say, hey, I'm struggling, I'm not doing well, or asking how they can help or respond if we need it, or doing their best to maintain confidentiality and to connect you to support. So a school you could come up with your own, what is a trusted adult? Some teams have turned this into like a most wanted campaign. They give characteristics of a particular trusted adult and say like wanted, and then you have to like run around the school and find who that trusted adult is, and you get prizes if you figure out who it was. So you can kind of gamify this. but we give a whole bunch of ideas, and then we want you to use your ideas, because some of the stuff I throw out, you might be like, that's stupid. Dan doesn't know what he's talking about. My friends are going to think that's stupid. And that's exactly what I want you to say. That's why you're in the room, because I just turned, I just turned 38. Like, I'm an old fogey now, and I don't know what's cool in high school anymore, but you all probably do, at least within your friendship group. So we want you to use your knowledge, your insights, your social media, your creativity, your art, your music, to turn this into something for your school that looks different than any other school, right? So you take our ideas and you say, okay, how can we do this in a fun, engaging way that highlights powerful voices of students in our school, and diverse voices, not just your typical student council or leadership voices, maybe some, but also maybe some of the kids who are on the edge of the social network of the school, whose voice doesn't get heard a lot. Or maybe those kids that are feeling isolated, or when they walk into school, it feels like they're walking into enemy territory where they have to hide a part of themselves or their identity. We want to give them a space to say, hey, what gets you through the day? Who are the people? What are the activities? Who are the mentors? How are you practicing generosity that helps you get through tough stuff? And to tell that story across the school. So, you know, there are a whole bunch of other ways that that happens. Let me see if I can share my screen, Jamie, just to jump through a couple here. Do you see the wings image, Jamie?
No, we're seeing your desktop, Dan.
Oh, desktop. There we go. For some reason, didn't share. The power of technology. Every day we're learning how to use this better. Here we go. Now is it seeing slides?
Yeah, we have the wheel.
So here we go. I'll show a couple of these. So some teams might get people to name things they're thankful for and make them into wings and say, like, gratitude gives us wings, and you stand in front of it and take a social media post. Teams have made a big wheel and turned that into a game or a parade. This was a school that had people name their family support and created a giant chain link and ran it down an entire hallway of all the people that support you, whether it's chosen family or immediate family or extended family. So that whole school was wrapped in family support for the entire year. They also built, like, every strength, they had a big display like this. So at the end of the year, the school is wrapped in every strength. So if you were like a visiting sports team, you walked into the school, you'd be like, what the hell's going on in here? And any kid at that school say, oh, that's our family support chain, or those are our mentors, those are our pillars of strength. So using your architecture and your building to message. And then I know social media has been really powerful while we've been doing virtual school. So whether that's, you know, taking a picture or post of all the stuff in your own space that's been helping you get through this, like running or, you know, sleeping or listening to music, or whether that's making a collage of the people and places that have been giving you strength, or hosting virtual dinner parties or get-togethers for students or discussion groups. Some teams put together like packages of food or materials to take to people, to other students who needed it. Or maybe they ran a competition that you could win prizes or whatnot for posting what's helping you right now. Like, what are you doing to manage big emotions? Or dress up events. One group did, you know, dress like your trusted adult to win a prize if you post it, or your mentor. Or we had some schools doing feelings, but make it fashion. You had to look at a feelings wheel and pick what you were feeling that day, and then dress up in the colors of that feeling. So maybe you're feeling blue, so you wore all blue, took a picture and posted it. Or maybe, you know, you're feeling happy, so it's yellow and you dressed in all yellow and posted it. So different ways of trying to, you know, engage, but all of that to say, you all as students kind of taking your knowledge of your peers and trying to target it through our strength-based messaging, and not just being positive, because there is a kind of positivity that can just piss people off, like particularly in a tough moment. if right now you're pretending like all of life is really easy and everything's lovely and you're happy all the time, you're probably going to upset people around you most of the time, right? Because there's some tough stuff going on. So it's not just about being positive. We want to be positive, but we want to bring awareness to the fact that people are struggling, and there's a lot of things that they use, a lot of different skills and strengths that they use to get through that tough stuff. But not just being aware of that or sharing the strengths. We want to engage and interact and invite people to apply strength to their life. So all of Sources is kind of like a game of catch. You throw something out, you ask a question, you give people to respond. So whether that's through social media, you ask people to participate in a campaign and they share, or maybe a wall display, they put their name up, or if you go into classrooms, it's kind of a back and forth between games and whether that's on social media or elsewhere, and the lived experience or in the real world, sharing what gives you strength across the school and community. We've developed a whole bunch of resources for that to support you, but in the training, we'll give you more tools and techniques to really put that into action. So that's a little bit more information, and I'll pause again for more questions or comments or responses from students or adults. Anybody else have any questions or things that are sparking for you? And if not, we can do what I love to do when we're hanging out together, is play one more game. And then I have one other piece of information I can share with you, and then we can close it out with any questions. And so one more game. This is a popular favorite amongst our team and folks we've been playing with online recently. So it's called Copycat Commotion. All right, here's how it works. I'm going to show either a famous art image or a picture from pop culture, someone you will probably know or have seen before. And then I'm going to give you a few minutes, and you need to run around wherever you are in your space as you are able to try and reenact this image to the best of your ability. Okay? So you might need to find some space or move away from your computer so you can move around. If you're in your car, you got limited resources, but you can, I know, Jasper, you can make it happen. Whatever you got around you. Okay, so I'll tell you what the image is and then how much time you have, but just to give you a sense of what that looks like. It could be like American Gothic, this famous painting. So you would need to run around and try and reenact it. This is Timmy, who's on our staff. I think he did a pretty good job. There's actually a striking resemblance between him and the guy with the pitchfork here. So that was his attempt to reenact that, all right? So like that, you gotta run around in your space and find a way to reenact, okay? Here is the first image. This is called Whistler's Mother, okay? You've got 40 seconds to try and reenact Whistler's Mother in your screen, okay? Find what you need, 40 seconds. Here we go, and starting now, go for it. $30 more seconds. Looking good, looking good. Jamie's got a nice white hat. All right, Matthew's got napkin or something going there. Rusty, ooh, looking good. Ooh, Cooper, look at you, bringing some color into it. All right, yep, Jasper, oh, you even got the angle right. You got a camera person helping you out. Oh, this is lovely. All right, we got 8 more seconds, last chance. And then I'm gonna take a screenshot to share back with you of all your lovely reenactments here. Okay, and time's up. Lovely. Oh, look at those Whistler mothers. Those are perfect. Well done. Micah, good work, good work, good work. All right, here we go. Second one, your second chance at Copycat Commotion. Serena Williams in this epic, so extra bonus points if you actually have a tennis racket that you find. All right, so 20 seconds. Here we go. Serena Williams, reenact. All right, here we go. 7 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and snapshot. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Rusty coming through with the tennis racket. With the tennis rackets. Oh, Mike up. Extra bonus points. Oh, look, Jamie, what is that? Oh, Megan's got a ukulele. That is lovely. Lucas, what do you got there? Just a bag? All right, that was good work. Good work. All right, let's do one more. One more. And this time, Harry Potter. Reenacting Harry Potter. You have 20 seconds this time. 20 seconds, go. Find a wand. Put a little Z on your head. You got a pair of glasses. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, Matthew actually has a wand. What is that, a marker? Doug, looking good. All right, Megan's got a bottle. Jasper, what is that, a straw? Good usage. Caden, all right. That's lovely, Harry Potter's. Anybody know an actual spell? My 5-year-old son was learning some Harry Potter spells recently.
Wingardium Leviosa.
There you go. Is that the one that like makes you float? Wingardia Leviosa. Way to come through for the win there, Hannah. So that's Copycat Commotion. After your training, we have a whole host of games that you can play, if you like any of them, that you can replicate when you run your campaign, whether it's virtual or in person. A lot of what we like to do together is play and laugh, not because we don't take this topic seriously, but because we take it really seriously. And we believe that to prevent suicide, we can't just be talking about death all the time. We got to talk about life. Right? We got to practice life together. We got to laugh and play and enjoy our lives and connect in a way that helps us overcome adversity. And so we play games because we like to really live life and celebrate the leading causes of life. That where is it breaking forth in our school, and how do we support students and staff in doing that? I'm going to pause again for any final questions, or if there's anything more you'd like me to say about the program, and then we'd look forward to scheduling your trainings, because we'll dive a little bit deeper into like the time requirements and what does it look like going forward, and what campaign do you want to start with. I guess I would say the other really heavy templated campaign that we've started, that we encourage people to start with, is called What Helps Us. And it's more on like the big 3 emotions of anger, anxiety, or feeling down, sad, or depressed. And what do you use? What helps you? Like we shared when we started, what's helping you get through this time? Getting students to share, oh, anxiety is more common for me. I've been feeling real anxious lately, and here's what helps me. When I get outside and I'm in a forest, it helps lower my anxiety. Or, you know, when I hang out with my friends, even if it's just virtually or texting each other, that helps lower my anxiety. Or playing with my dog, one of you mentioned, or your cat, helps lower my anxiety, right? To highlight those stories in a fun and engaging way, because we know everybody's trying to cope with something tough right now. So to do that together can give you hope that I'm not the only one who's wrestling with these big emotions. And also, I have a lot of tools at my disposal to help bring them back down to size and not feel overwhelmed. So that's another campaign. You might want to decide which one you want to start with, so that, and explore on our website more at sourceofstrength.org. There's a whole bunch of videos there if you want to watch or check us out. And then we look forward to training with you and having more fun and sharing stories together. So any final questions? I don't want to keep you all night, but we're looking forward to you all being agents of change in your school. Any other questions, Matthew?
Yeah. As we're scheduling the training, I don't want to just stop and pause and wait. I don't want people to sit and wait. So I'm wondering, social media wise, is there a way kids can start this process of communicating? Is there a particular platform you've seen people use? Should I create an Instagram channel? I mean, I'm wide open to any of that stuff. I'm just looking for
Yeah,
direction.
so you can definitely create a channel. We would recommend, Instagram seems to be an easy one to share images and
Okay.
whatnot. I don't know, your students could probably tell you, I think all students don't use Facebook anymore, to my knowledge. That's for your parents and your grandparents.
Yeah.
Instagram is a pretty good communication, but also image one. TikTok, if you can figure out how to use that for social strength messaging, go for it. But it's maybe a little bit harder for like broadcasting what's happening or when your meetings are. So you can definitely create your own. You can follow us for ideas. I will throw up our handles if you want to follow them and start getting ideas on like what are other teams doing. So there's an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the website if you want to follow those and start checking out what we post and what other people post. And then Remind is like a good texting app.
Okay.
If you want to just be messaging to peer leaders and telling them when their meetings are and when to show up, what's happening next.
And Matthew, I can send you some resources for if you're going to have meetings or gatherings prior to the training of some sharing things, some games you can play, some activities that will help you get started in this first few weeks.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think social media is a powerful tool, right? You all probably know it can sometimes be used for harm, for bullying and harassment, or it can be something that causes anxiety where you feel like your life isn't as cool as your friends' lives. But it can also be a tool for powerful change. We see activists using it and people encouraging each other and sharing beautiful moments from their lives. So it can be both and. And for this program, we want to share positive stories there, not just tough stuff, but what's the good stuff in our lives. So yeah, it can be a powerful medium.
Cool.
Any other questions, thoughts, comments, feedback? And if not, then I'll wish you well the rest of your week. And we are always available if you want to touch base and ask more questions. Yeah, there. Cooper, there's the one solid clap. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And then we look forward to hanging out more when we do a training together.
All right.
All right. Cheers. Oh, look, Jamie's got the screenshots on the lowdown. We'll play a song on the way out just to give you a dance party as we close out. Makes it easy to say goodbye.
Shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time, but I always had a vision. Always had hopes. Had to have hopes for a living. Didn't know how, but I always had a feeling I was gonna be that one in a million. Mama said, fulfill the prophecy, be something great. Go make a legacy, manifest destiny. Back in the days we wanted everything. Mama said.
Hopefully that was that good enough for you,
Oh, that
Matthew?
was great. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
My heart, well, first of all, I miss my kids.
Yeah.
And my heart hurts knowing that they're locked away. And so I'm hoping we see them again soon, but I didn't want to
Yeah.
stop. So this helps a lot.
Okay, good. Hopefully excited them about it, not
I
like,
think it
oh.
did. Well, and I told Jamie right before I got on that I'll talk with my principal tomorrow. We'll look at some dates, get with you, and then I think I'll probably start like an Instagram channel and get that going right away so kids
Okay.
start
Yeah.
sharing stuff. So they need an outlet desperately.
Yeah.
So.
Jamie has a document she was talking about that kind of walks through how to launch sources before you even have a training, if that's necessary, and then the training can take it further.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do that. Just
Yeah.
Kids have been waiting goodness long enough. So
Get some things going. Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks.
so much. And it was
Thanks,
fun to get to meet you too.
It was
Yeah.
really great to finally put a face. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
All right,
thank
Matthew.
you.
Have a good
Take
day.
care.